Hello,
Hi
welcome,
to Luna.
and the Druid.
Woohoo! Okay,
Here we
let's
are.
get this thing moving.
Squeeze yourself in, baby.
Yeah,
There you are. There
there
you
we
go.
are.
So,
Hello
hello.
and welcome to Luna and the Druids. What you could see is us getting ready, bringing ourselves into high energy so we could
Shine brightly
yes,
tonight.
and
Shine
share it
brightly.
with you.
Yeah, and we're so happy this week.
Yes,
Two reasons.
we are.
Maybe a few more.
But two
First,
main reasons.
first reason. We're in the same place.
And that's the big surprise.
Yeah, we've been working all day from 11 a.m. this morning, working on the show, recording stuff.
We have some good things coming.
Yeah, we have some good things coming.
Playing
And
with Karma.
playing with the dog.
She's under the
Having
table.
nice food.
Mhm.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
You're a good cook. She says she can't cook, but she can.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I never
love
say
it.
I can't cook. I always say that I'm an amazing chef.
Oh, and you are, and you are,
Because I
and
am.
you are, and you are. So look, so today we're going to talk about perspective, changing perspective. Well, a big thing, perspective. Seeing the world from a different perspective. You want to look like this or like this?
What is fantastic that topic, which is inspired by the Hanged Man, the major arcana number 12, came to life around Easter time, around the resurrection, rebirth. So that's amazing how the universe works.
Yeah, and there's a bit of legend regarding the hangman. If we look back into mythology, we have Odin, who sacrificed himself. So the hangman is about self-sacrifice and why he wanted to find wisdom. And what wisdom did he find?
For those who don't know, those are
Rune stones. The runes. So Odin sacrificed himself for 9 days and 9 nights, piercing his body every night for 9 nights to get to the rune wisdom. He found the wisdom there in the runes. Yeah. Then what came next? Because Odin is old religion, paganism, thousands of years old, a very old legend, and a very old god.
I don't know where to look. Oh, it's so great.
And yeah, then we have the Easter thing, of course, where on Good Friday a man was hanged, and not upside down, but like this. JC, also known as Jesus Christ, and the miracle that happened was that he, on the Sunday after the Friday was hanged, that he came back to life, and yeah, big story there, resurrected. Hangman, as you can maybe see on this card, is number 12, and of course we have a legend regarding number 12 as well.
Which legend? There is few.
And the few. Well, it's the legend of the 12th apostle, the 12th servant of Christ. That was the last one, and he was named Judas. So he's the traitor. And what we see often in the cards, I even have a deck. I haven't got it with me, but where the hangman is called the traitor. So we hang him, and the number 1, Peter, which was apostle number 1, was later to be crucified in Rome. And because he says, my master has been hanged like that, I want to hang upside down. So a bit of a legend and a bit of things there.
Do you think that might be an inspiration for the Hanged Man?
Ooh, well, no, these are not good stories. Killing
So true.
yourself or sacrificing yourself for the wisdom. Um, it turned better in history, actually, when in the Middle Ages, being hung upside down was one of the punishments you could get for treason or forgery or deceit, deceiving your wife.
Mm.
Yeah, you could be hanged there upside down, and what then was the idea that when you withstood it gracefully, accepted your fate, you were less mocked upon. If you were
Mm.
shouting and screaming and they say, yeah, you you baby. But if you said, okay, I'm going to accept my fate, I'm going to be hanging here for a while, um, yeah, people would say, okay,
It's just like the opposite of modern days, isn't it?
tell me, how do you see that?
Um, these days, the more people scream, the more they are loud, the more they want to show themselves, even though they may not have anything interesting to say. The more acknowledgement they get, the more recognition. Like when you, for example, open social media, there is a lot of good stuff there, obviously, but there is also a lot of rubbish, which gets so much recognition and so much attention and so much noise that, well, we could work on that as a humanity in terms of validating what's really important, what's really true,
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
really deep,
yeah,
and just like you said, accept our own fate rather than talking about it and showing it, but leaving a life behind the scenes which is completely different and
yeah,
completely opposite to
yeah.
your own values.
Yeah, and of course, there's a lot of complaining, and indeed complaining about politicians, all kinds of things happening in society. Also, the small personal things that affect yourself
Of course.
and where you get hung. And
And that's where perspective is really important. And that's when perspective is a key. But before we get into it, let's talk about the hangman, the card itself. What does it mean? How do you read when you get a card in a reading, hangman? What does it mean to you?
yeah, so generally, I say, okay, there's a bit of sacrifice. You've sacrificed yourself. You've sacrificed your time. You've gone through a very difficult time. Once you are hung, you notice that you are stuck there.
Mhm.
Not much movement once you're hung upside down. There's not much movement. There's blockades. They're stuck in a rut energy, and yeah, in order to remove that, you have to accept your faith, change perspective, look at things from the other side. You could even say that the moment you're hanging upside down, you are changing perspective from what you normally do, and from there on you can revert back again, and and having seen both sides gives, like Odin did, it gives you wisdom, it gives you perspective to also look into the meaning of others.
Mhm.
And we're so used to cancel or dismiss the meaning of others, even sometimes even for a matter of taste.
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely.
I see people like I'm in a few hard rock forums or progressive rock forums in on the internet, and there you see, which is the best guitar player, and everybody has a meaning. and every and if we only could be civilized enough to accept the meaning of others and say, this is not set in stone. These are perspectives.
Mhm.
These are perspectives. These are ways of looking. It's taste. It's preference, and these are perspective. And perspective can be wrong, and sometimes a perspective needs to change for
Absolutely.
yourself. But in the matter of taste, well, accept
Yeah, we tend to stick to no much feather than the tip of
the
our
tip of
own
our
nose.
nose. Yes.
And that's a big problem because we value our own opinion, and there is nothing wrong about this. However, everyone deserves to have right to be themselves, to be authentic selves. And we often tend to want to change people or tell them how to feel or what to think about. Those noises which you can hear in the background are just our producer Karma.
Yeah, and then people try to convince other people that they're wrong, that their way of looking at it is wrong, which of course
is wrong.
It's there's things that are wrong. 1 and 1 is 3. You could say is wrong, but you could say it metaphorically. 1 and 1 is 3. Luna and the Druid is more than the sum of the two of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's even in mathematics, you could say there's more than one truth. There's
course.
Your truth, my truth.
That's exactly what it is. Everybody has their own truth, and they have the right to have it, to have that certain belief or have that certain way of looking at world and looking at other things in life, in the world. And we are entitled to have an opinion. That's what humans do. That this is very humane thing. However, just like Jan said, we very often tend to push our opinions onto others. And this, it depends on the situation, because for some, this will be a moment of enlightenment. This will be when we follow somebody who helps us grow, for example. It's great. But on the other side, we can, for example, follow somebody who doesn't want our best, who has only their own interest in their mind. And this may lead to harder lessons.
It sure does. It sure does. Yeah. And of course, on the other hand, sometimes we want to change people, which we can't. Other people you cannot change.
Yeah.
Yourself you can change. I can change myself. I can try, but it will only lead to resistance when I want to change you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's when we want to change the world or anything around us, we need to start from ourselves. It's the only way. There is no other way. By just changing yourself and leading as an example, that's how it can work. Otherwise, you're gonna waste time, energy, and put effort into something which is not possible.
Yeah, and it doesn't help. It doesn't work. And we can't change our doggy either. Our producer is just our producer.
I can't change a barking terrier into a non-barking one.
No, that's it. And that's no problem. She gives a bit of flavor to the show with her doings.
Yes. By the way, she's just chewing on the stick and barking at
the same time. Yeah. Well, Luna, what do we have? Yeah, personal experience, challenging assumptions.
The reason we want to talk about perspective today is how changing it may actually change your life. Long story short.
Yeah. I remember a very profound experience in a loving kindness meditation, which is a Buddhist meditation, where in the meditation you sit in a circle with people you love, people you don't care too much about, people that are totally neutral, and oftentimes people, and you also want to see there some people that are challenging for you. And what I saw there, having them all together in my meditation, in my visualization, that the one I loved and the one I hated, that I didn't like that much, they were kind of similar people. So I really had to change my mind about this person that I thought was difficult in my life. And when I did, he started changing too.
That's interesting. But that's what happens.
I changed my opinion about him. I probably changed my attitudes towards a person, and I couldn't avoid him. It was a person that was in my life. I couldn't stay away from him. But when I saw that he wasn't as bad as I thought he would do something similar to someone I liked, I said, okay, I have to think differently, and it helped.
And that's the key. We often perceive things by the way we feel about them, but it doesn't mean that's how it is or how they are. Our feelings give a meanings. What is feelings? It's the feelings, actually emotions, because that's the most important part of that. The emotions, the energy we put into and we give into something will bring a certain outcome. And if we bring our energy into a negative feeling, which is okay if you feel negative feeling or emotion towards somebody, it's absolutely fine, but just stop yourself and ask if it's worth, because what we give out we get back. So if we give out negative emotion, guess what's happened? We receive it back in a different form. It may be from this person or situation, or maybe from a completely other source, but it is important to find ourselves and take responsibility for our thoughts, our beliefs, and how we project them
Yeah.
on the world and on the
The last sentence you said was actually what I have to comment about. The idea is that what you think is what you think. You perceive it oftentimes as the truth. It doesn't have to be that way. It's just a voice in the head that works its own way. The voice in the head gets fed by our belief system, so by what we perceive to be true and perceive to be right, and from the beliefs and the thoughts come the emotions. And that's where we really get astray, because we get emotionally involved in what we think and what we believe, especially how others respond in a different way than we expect them. And that's what causes all the pain in the world, and that's where we get stuck, and that's where we get hung up, and even a hangover.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, with limiting beliefs, oh my goodness, we could sit here all day and talk about it. Um, as even the name limiting beliefs are the beliefs which limit us. Like I couldn't give a more simple definition of that. But just like Jan said, this those beliefs may very often create our own prison. And it's okay. We're humans. We've all been there. But it's important to recognize that, okay, that thought, that belief is not serving me. And what else? What then? What's next? What to do
Well,
about it?
then that's what teachings and spiritual teachings and life coaching teachings will often teach you, to monitor your thoughts and monitor the beliefs that are the basis of the thoughts. If you say constantly, no, I can't do that, that's not possible, uh, write the things down. Write the thing down. I can't do that. It's not possible. And then strike it out. The apostrophe T or the not. So I can do that. I think it's possible. There was a children TV series of a very brave girl, Pippi Longstocking, in the 60s and 70s. You know her?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, from Sweden, and her favorite saying was, "Phew, that's something I never did before. So I think I can do that."
Interesting.
So
That's a great
the
approach.
first approach being, okay, yeah, let's give it a try, let's give it a go, and that's how we overcome our limiting beliefs. The major blockade actually to creating the life of your dreams, the major belief that holds you back, is the idea of something that has to happen first before
Oh,
I can do my big thing.
yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah,
I
I
need to lose 10 pounds before I start dating again. I need to make certain amount of money before I feel secured and start
so
to live my dreams, for example.
yeah.
And guess what happens? Your brain is designed to give you proof for everything you believe in. If you believe that you're not worthy, you will find plenty of examples of that. Simple story, just from everyday life. Imagine a situation that the family sits at the table and the father asks the son to pass him a salt, and the salt is in the kitchen. The kid says, I don't know where the salt is. It's in the kitchen, in a cupboard on the second shelf. And the kid obviously doesn't want to pass the salt, but he has to. So on his way to the kitchen, he says, oh, I don't know where the salt is. I don't know where the salt is. I don't know where the salt is. He gets to the kitchen, he opens the cupboard, looks at the second shelves, and I don't know where the salt is. I don't know where the salt is. And he can't find it. I can't find it. It's like, it's on the second shelf. No, it's not. So the person comes over, and guess what happens? Points at the salt directly. What happened here? Those eyes could see the salt, right? Because he was looking at the second shelf. What happened? The brain found proof that I can't see the salt. Simple as it is. And I can guarantee that most everyone will find a similar situation like this, where you were looking for something, you couldn't find it because you were convinced that you can't find it. And guess what? It was in front of you.
Yeah.
And that's just a simple example of assault. But in life, very often, what we believe we cannot do, we won't do it because the fear will stop us from taking a chance, giving it a try, taking that step.
Yeah.
We have some comments here. Richard says, hello all. Pippi Longstocking was great.
Yes,
I'm not sure
it
if
was.
I even pronounce it properly.
Yeah, perfectly. Pippi Longstocking was great. She was really, you know, a rainbow girl, stepping out of her comfort zone. Well, actually, she had no comfort zone. She got rid of it altogether, together with the box. Thinking out of the box, yeah.
That would be a great way of living.
An adventurous girl. Yeah, living without her mom and dad. Yeah, so limiting beliefs, bulldoze them or replace them for beliefs that serve you.
Yes, empowering beliefs. Beliefs which actually gives you wing. Jan mentioned earlier the word impossible. What does it mean? Impossible means I'm possible. Simple as it is. With the limiting beliefs, how to recognize that this belief is actually a limiting one?
That's not too hard. If there's in your beliefs, so in the words that you repeatedly say, is as long as there are words that confirm that something cannot be done, something cannot be achieved, something is impossible, you shall not pass. That's almost often a limiting belief, especially when it's just in our own lives. Anything you want to achieve, you can achieve, but you have to start believing that you can. The brother's right. Flying the first airplane about 100 and a few years ago, they could only do it and test it because they thought this might be possible, it might be doable.
That's exactly the thing.
Birds fly, they're heavier than air. Well, why can't we just make bigger wings?
I can't is one thing, but very often we might find ourselves thinking that I'm not enough. I don't know enough. Our producer is demanding attention. She just loves Jan.
Yeah, you are enough. Come here, girl. Well, she doesn't want to.
Anyway.
Yeah.
She wants to.
Yeah, she wants to.
Yes.
Yes, she is.
She wants to say hi. Anyway, well, at least you'll be able to see how much she loves
Introduce
Yes.
Team Karma to the show.
Anyway, back to the topic. Very often, as I said, we are another type of limiting beliefs is the one we put upon ourselves, belittling our own worth, not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, not feeling educated enough. And that's something which actually stops us from achieving the greatest things we came here to do. Think of a situation where you were, for example, happy, with a fantastic energy. For example, you won a competition and you were celebrating that. Think of that moment. How did you feel? Unstoppable, right? You achieved everything. And it's important to go back into that state as much as possible, because our physiology, our physical body can shift us in no time from the very low into very high. And that's exactly what we did at the very beginning of this life. We put ourselves into peak state, the high energy state, so we could actually sit here and talk about many important things we do, instead of, for example, complaining how tired we are, because we did a lot of work today and it was challenging and demanding on the mind. And we could go like this, or we could just crush that limiting belief that we are tired and it's been a long day, and we could do something about it, take some action to change our state. And I can see we have a comment here.
For Pete's sake. Well, the producer is in the house.
There was a comment from Richard about Karma, that he wanted to see her.
Well,
Richard
she
loves
is.
Karma. Yeah,
Here
there
she
she is,
is.
especially
Here she
for
is.
you, Richard.
Yeah, and we decided to like name our corporation.
Karma Productions.
Karma Productions.
Just to honor.
And there's the CEO herself.
CEO of my life.
The CEO, yeah, the one in charge.
I love you too, baby. Yeah. Anyway, it's a bit chaotic here with her today.
No problems. Fine. But let's agree that we get rid of the comfort zone. Yeah. Step out of it, because that's where it all happens.
Comfort zone kills the growth. Growth doesn't happen in a comfort zone. In order to move forward, we have to get out of that comfortable and nice place.
And sometimes we say, okay, the comfort zone is comfortable. It's not. You're trapped.
Yeah.
You're trapped inside the box.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. And yes, sometimes we have to get trapped in order, or have this challenge in order to gain a new perspective. And that's what happened to us, actually. Let's tell you a story. Let's leave the hangman for a moment, and let's talk about our own hangman within our own journey. A month ago, exactly a month ago, we were sitting like this with each other, doing some work. We were on fire, absolutely. We were very happy with what we created. And then something happened.
Yeah, we had a break, and so I checked on my phone, and there was a message. A greeting message from YouTube. We have found that the content in your YouTube channel does not meet our community standards. It contains spam and deceit, and it motivates people to go to to dangerous websites. The website of a tarot reader and
Luna and the Druid, and Karma, dangerous stuff.
And they started high on top. So I had my personal YouTube channel for 18 years. Never any complaints. And from one day up to another, boom, it was gone. All my videos were inaccessible. I have a few hundred subscriptions built up in these 18 years as well. I couldn't even watch videos on my account anymore. So I complained to YouTube that it wasn't right. They said, no, it's right. Your channel is wrong. Then they made a complaint again. They sent me, no, you complained already. We won't treat your complaint anymore. Went to the YouTube Twitter account, and they said, we're going to look into it. A few days later, no, we're not going to change it.
And trust me, it was really frustrating, because we were putting all this energy and effort and creating content that nobody could see, because we weren't showing up on your subscription mode at all.
Yeah, and that was not because Luna and the Druid wasn't cancelled, wasn't blocked, but because it was linked to me personally, It was in. I was as what the manager of the account. The account didn't show up, Luna and the Druid, in the feeds and everything. So we plummeted in no new subscribers,
Yeah.
in views and everything.
And so did our energy.
Yeah, it felt bad, didn't it? But we kept up doing it, and then yesterday I found another entry into the Google Accounts department, and from there on they said, "Oh, we had another look, and I don't know where it came. We made a big mistake. Your channel contains nothing wrong. We put you back again." And an hour later, our videos were back in the feeds of the people who subscribed to us. We checked it with their own accounts, with accounts of friends, and all of a
We're
sudden
back in the game.
we're back. And just a day ago.
Yeah. And
That was
the reason we're sharing is because what Jan did was he changed perspective and he changed his approach towards the entire situation. And that's what actually brought immediate results. Because at the beginning, we were frustrated. I'm not going to lie to you. We didn't like that. The worst part about this was we didn't know what happened. There was no communication, nothing. And for a moment, we end down the rabbit hole, finding it really frustrating. Because we put a lot of effort, work, energy, and not mention that we loved doing that. But it's not fun to not to talk to talk to an empty screen, because you guys wouldn't be able to be here. We got banned from going live.
yeah.
So that was serious stuff. However, the change of our own perspective and that situation itself brought us from the comfortness of the way we did. It forced us to look at things from a different perspective, and it worked great. Actually, we got ideas we normally probably wouldn't even think of at this time. So it was a blessing in disguise, and it shifted, but small change by the different approach, different perspective.
Yeah, yeah, and you'll probably notice from here on that we'll that we have changed, and we will have a more proactive approach, and yeah, go deeper, go further,
Yeah.
go places where we haven't been before.
Absolutely.
Exciting.
Absolutely. Very,
Yeah,
very.
yeah,
Summer
yeah.
will be great.
Summer will be
So
great. That's it.
make sure to stay around, press a notification button so you wouldn't miss any of our videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back to the topic. What about challenges? What about
Check. Challenges.
Check. Yes.
Check.
What I mean by that is how you talked about this a little bit already, but how being empathetic, being an empath and feeling other people can help you see them from a different light. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, the main thing, a few things you have to do for yourself. Never ever give other people the opportunity to make you feel worthless or bad. Never sign into it. I know that's hard, and I've been falling loads and loads of times. I even occasionally do. When bad things happen, you think, why? And it's always temporarily. It's always a situation of this too shall pass. Things go away. Things pass, like the ban on our YouTube channel even passed. And if it wouldn't have passed, we would have taken matters in our own hand. And we had a plan moving forward. And once we had the plan moving forward,
things got resolved.
Automatically. And so have a plan, be secure. And again, the same goes. Other people have their own journeys, have their own problems. When you feel bad about your encounters with other people, always be empathic to their view, their way of looking at things, to their adventure. They might be hanging from a tree or from a branch, and they might be stuck in their lives and see no way forward, and they project it on the outer world. And it's so hard, or it's sometimes so easy to see the splinter in someone else's eye without seeing the branch growing out of your head.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah. We all think we're perfect, and we're not. Well,
Perfect.
you are.
I'm not. Perfect is boring.
No, yeah, well, yeah. Well, let's be honest. That we're both perfect in our imperfection.
Absolutely. That's why I agree 100%. But the truth is, we connect with people based on similar experiences. That's how we build that connection initially. That when we feel we can understand and be understood by another person. So sometimes before you go into judgment, just take a deep breath in and think that that person might be actually going through something. And before you open your eyes, really ask yourself what you want to say. Is it loving, or is it the opposite of loving? Is it helpful, or is just you sharing your opinion, which doesn't matter to this situation? Is what you want to say helpful, or the opposite of that? I very often, if I don't have anything nice to say, I won't say a thing. Simple as it is. I love to bring people up. I love to make people smile, happy, laughing. It's just one of the things I love to do the most.
Yeah.
But very often there are people out in the world which love the opposite, which love to bring people down, which feel that it gives them power to not be nice, to push somebody down, to make them feel less, to make them feel unworthy, whatever it is. And it's so important to ask ourselves in which connection with other people we are helping them, we are bringing them up, or at least we are neutral. But are there connections where we could do better?
Yeah. And it's also about the truth.
Yeah, and that perspective will help you to shift a lot of relationships. That's what Jan mentioned before as well.
Yeah, and I learned from from my dad a few different things as well.
Mm-hmm.
The what happens to me occasionally is that I see somebody doing, something crazy, something foolish for themselves, or either or in a group or whatever, and I I pinpoint it, and yeah, you get cancelled for these things. People don't like it when you say it, and I learned my lesson there. So I'm really I'm still not okay with not saying anything. We had someone cutting trees near where we live. I cannot do anything else than talk to that person.
But
Sorry.
the way is so important, and it can change so much.
Yeah, and I change my ways, and I always go in with the idea that I know that this person will probably think differently, and I need to respect that. How hard that sometimes is, but I need I have the need sometimes to share the truth,
Of course,
and to see if I can share my perspective on the ideas with them, and so they might shift their perspective a small bit. It's bit by bit. You can't change the world in one day.
Yeah, that by
you want
very often it happens by a dialogue, not just saying my opinion and you have to do it because I say so. No, let's talk. Let's find a solid ground where we both can stand and agree on. And sometimes it's not possible.
Yeah.
But then again, we have to change our own perspective on that. and how to approach the new situation. If it can be done this way, what else could I do about it if I really want this change, for example?
That's true.
Yeah. And
yeah, I love this. I go. Shall we shift our own perspective?
On what?
Do something new. Something
like
I
what?
haven't done. Well, I am one of the reviewers of books for Pagan Island magazine, and recently we got a very nice one, The Runes of the Green Witch. So a combination of lessons about the runes and witchcraft. So there's a lot about herbology, plants, a lot of correspondences, runes corresponding to tarot cards and elements and planets and astrology and whatever. And
Looks like an interesting
I was so fortunate because I have a bag of runes, and let's just try to pull 3.
Yeah.
I'm not so experienced in runes that I just can read them from myself. A small bit, it's starting a bit. I'm studying tarot all the time. But let's just, maybe with help of the book, try to make some sense of it.
Awesome.
And, let's see if we can.
That's great.
Let's just pull 3. 1,
Beautiful.
2, and 3. Okay, what do we have? The first one. It's an R, I think.
Give me the book. I will find it.
Yeah.
Just a second. Here. Karma.
It's quite up front. It's one of the earliest ones.
There we go.
It's Raido. So it means travel, journey, decisions. The word Raido, I know a bit of Norwegian, has also to do with the wheel. So I made a list of correspondences with runes and tarot, looking them up. That's one of my things I learned with. So it's about movement, but it's about travel, journey, and decision. So the challenge, we do the challenge, what holds us back, and what's the solution? Well, the challenge is to journey, to move, to make decisions, and to travel.
That's resonate with actually what happened to us in our channel.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah. Journey.
Yeah. It says, Raido is my heart. Every step is a beat. Each path that I wander is kissed by my feet. I love that. I loved it. Raido.
The next one is this rune. So that's something with 2 legs and a body on top.
Let me see.
I think this one is far in the back. Far in the back. Should be somewhere. It's one of the laters. Oh, I have it here. Othala. Othala. So meaning the letter O is connected to it. And it means home, family, and even ancestors. So we want to journey. But we're still connected, and we're held back by, well, probably not by the ancestors. They don't care a bit if we travel.
Actually, yeah, go ahead.
But sometimes family ties keep us from doing what we want.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. We have so much within us from our ancestors and from the family, from the home we were raised. Very often, this is the place where the first limiting beliefs are being implemented on our lives. And that's where a lot of limiting beliefs come from. The home and the environment, the people we surround ourselves with, especially when we're children, we're under such a big influence, can define our future to the certain degree. Because if we're, for example, a child and we keep hearing that, oh, you're too young to do that, we will grow with a belief that we are too young to achieve great things and to do that stuff, because that's something which was implemented in us. And if we want actively change that, we will have that belief in our subconscious mind.
Yeah. Yeah, and I recognize the thing in a previous family life where a lot of things that I wanted to do were just frowned upon, or even I was blocked to do them. More or less. Yeah, that's where you have to change perspective and fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, what does the story say?
It says, Otalas, where heart resides, a place of shelter, love, and rest. Built with bonds and blood of ancestors, upon this land we are safe and blessed. Oh, that's a lovely one.
Wow.
That's a lovely one.
Yeah. So,
basic meanings of Otala include ancestral heritage and wisdom, property, tradition, and sanctuary. And it represents general inheritance of land, belief system, that's what we talk about, and genetics, as well as one's fundamental values, sense of belonging, and connection to familiar roots. In its simplicity, it is a place where one feels safe and accepted. Oh, that's a lovely definition.
It's a lovely definition. Yeah, these runes, and from the little study I did, I found out that all the runes, like you might know, I never read reverse cards. My cards are actually, I read towards the reader, so my cards are all upside down for me when I read the cards. so the quern that's opposite of me could see them, but there's reverse meaning. So I read both the positive and the other meanings of the cards in any card. So then we have the last one. This is like an arrow, and it's called Canas, and it means so
beacon, torch,
passion. Passion. So this is one of the runes connected to the element of fire, and so if we have the problem, we want to journey. If we are stuck in the family, we just have to follow our passion, get rid of our limiting beliefs, and go there. What do you read about
the Kina's torch shines in the light about the deep forest as I journey throughout. It wraps me in warmth on the coldest of nights, a flame roaring inside of me, a beacon so bright.
Beautiful meaning. Yeah.
I'm so happy you brought those. I am not too familiar with runes.
Me neither.
One or two times reading done for me, but it's amazing the meaning it brings, because we need to remember that sometimes we can't take things literally. When we talk about, for example, home, it doesn't necessarily means the home as a family and as a place. It can be comfort zone, for example. It can be a place where we feel safe. It can be going out in the nature. That can be our home as well. So the perspective here is really important, that sometimes we can't interpret things literally. Sometimes we have to have this different perspective, the wider perspective, for example. And that's why holistic coaching is so great, because in holistic coaching, you have a wider perspective of not only achieving the goal, but also make the change lasting and take all aspects of your life, not just the goal itself.
Boom. There, you said it.
That's why I love coaching, because holistic coaching, because it's a different way than the traditional one, because it looks and it gives you that different perspective. I see some cards. He's pulling some cards.
Oh, look.
I can't move because I have a puppy on my lap.
I have my trimmed dot deck. So the hangman is back in.
Yeah, and it's not a naughty one. He brought a deck with a naughty hangman today.
The Druidcraft Tarot, where the hangman is naked and exposing the
jewelry.
The jewelry. Yeah.
But unfortunately, we can't show it to you because we don't want to have another ban.
Too explicit for YouTube. Oh my God. That's how crazy these people from YouTube.
It is how it is.
It is how it is, yeah.
Those are rules, and all we can do about it is just follow it and perhaps shift the way we feel about it.
Well, it's so good to be together. So someone can pull the cards for me.
Yes.
Shall we just do random thoughts for the week?
Yeah.
Random thoughts for the week.
One.
Okay.
3.
Yeah, do 3. Yeah, sure.
2.
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
I'm curious.
Shall we? We'll pull them one by one and then create a story out of it.
Okay.
First time.
I've seen this card somewhere.
Yeah, eight of discs. 8 of discs. Personal growth, growth with prudence, so with care and with care and precision. Taking it's the card of the goldsmith and the silversmith, making very, very nice and very precise pieces of art. Yeah. We could say this card is also the watchmaker.
Yeah.
So working
mastering the craft, basically.
Okay, let's change perspective. When you master the craft, there could be a way of wanting to do stuff so well that you never finish.
We are so not used to being in one room talking to one camera.
Doing the stuff so well that you never finish it.
Oh.
It's staying, improving.
Yes.
Like if we had the idea in November of starting the channel and we just started, and we could have trained and we could have exercised and do. No, sometimes you say, okay, this is the deadline. We're starting right now.
Yeah, we have to start somewhere.
This is the deadline.
Where we are, what we have in our hand, rather than seeking perfection.
Yeah, 8 of discs is the deadline. No, you can't.
Speaking of hangman.
How did you do that?
Magic.
Okay, magic.
Hands.
So when you can't finish a job, change perspective and sometimes accept that you are stuck and then free yourself up and move along. Bang, the Ace of Wands. Yeah, and get rid of the old. Go to number 10. Say, okay, done it, been there, done it. Time to empty the mind. Time to empty the backpack, the loads, offload the pain of the old, and start again or restart again. Reboot. It's a reboot. It's a new period in our channel. So
absolutely, and a new period in your life.
Yeah.
Imagine, for example, a child who's learning how to walk. After the first fall, you won't approach that child saying, "Yo, you're not good enough. You're never gonna do it." You do the opposite. You go and cheer that child. And the child is not giving up after the first failure. They actually build strength and stamina to try again and again and again and again until they will succeed, until they make this first step and learn how to walk and then learn how to run and so on and so on. Yeah. And just in life, it's exactly the same. If something doesn't work, don't give up. Just try a different approach. Change your perspective and try something else.
Yep.
Don't do same thing all over again, because if it didn't work once, it may or may not work the next time. But if you're trying and you can't see the solution, change your perspective, because I can guarantee you that thinking outside of the box will show you the way, will show you what is the next step.
Yeah. So if you were always slow because you wanted to do the stuff perfectly, and you noticed that from there on you didn't make any progress, get rid of the old and start again.
Yeah.
Change perspective.
Yeah. Bring some passion and
Bring
fire.
some passion
some
and
new
fire into
energy.
the story.
Yeah. Thank you very much for
You're
pulling
welcome,
all the
my dear.
cards and all the runes.
Well, thank you for
That was
for
amazing.
looking them up. So,
all right.
And with that, our dear viewers.
Thank you so much. It was so lovely to sit next to you and have this conversation. It's completely different energy, but the reason we're doing it is wanted to share the energy we have with each other, with you guys, because the last time we did it, you loved it. So
we had the bloopers.
There are some bloopers as well. Maybe we should
maybe in the material we recorded today, we'll find some bloopers again.
Yes.
And I want to thank you for the welcoming reception.
Anytime.
The brilliant food. Oh my God. No, good and healthy food.
Cooking is my passion.
Yeah. That will get me home safely tonight.
Yes.
And dear viewers, it was lovely to see you here.
Richard says, thank you guys. Loved the runes. We're glad you enjoyed it. So did we. It was an interesting experience.
It was. And we'll do more of it.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
And see you next time.
On Monday.
Luna and the Druid. Bye.